Hey guys, welcome to my 7th devlog of the series. I feel like this time went quite well. We got to cover quite a bit of things, which I'll be talking about in detail in a moment. An overview of what we will be talking about are the fixes for the buildings that we did last week. So entering and exiting the building, we had a couple of issues with collision and loading NPCs and so on, or loading any entities, but they should be fixed. I'll be going into detail in a moment. We also have a new mechanic. This is the quest system, so I'll be talking about that properly in a moment. I'll be showing you what it does, how it works and so on. It's still early stages, so they'll be fixing that in the weeks to come, but we have a start. Okay, first off I want to show you the fixes that we have for the buildings. Once you enter this building, we now have collision along the sides, so the player can't get out of the sort of arena thing. I will be having it more sort of a nicer, well, more orthographic, where we'll have sort of the wall at the back, the walls on the sides, so it actually looks like a house. And this is the flooring. Right now it's just the floor, so we don't have anything, and it's just the most blandest colour. Okay, another issue I want to address is the reloading of entities and items when entering and exiting a map. So for example, if I would enter and exit a map, the entities would duplicate themselves and there would be 2 of this NPC and they'll be both walking around, and there'll be 2 of the animal and so on. This time, every time I enter and exit a building, it would reset the map to how it was, which is still not what we want, but it's better than last time where we would have ever multiplying sort of alien monster NPCs where millions would just keep spawning every time you would enter a building. This is still the case for items actually, so if I was to see, I can pick up the item twice and then it disappears, because every time I enter and exit, the map reloads and it will enter in the apple. But we don't want that, because I need to keep track of the positions of each of the NPCs, as well as the state of all of them, as well as the state of the items, to make sure that every time I enter a building, it's still persisting on the outside and not going to reload itself every time I come out. So that will need to be fixed for next time. Third point I addressed was just light maps and weather being affected when you're entering and exiting the building. So entering and exiting the building would have you would be able to see the light maps as well as the snow and the rain or whatever within the building. This time this is no longer the case, because we can now pick up whether you're indoors or outdoors, so in order for the weather to be rendered or not. The weather doesn't actually stop moving, because I wanted to have a window within the house so you could be able to see the weather from the outside, so the particle system is still going once you're in or out of the building. A couple of the issues that we still have ongoing is the location when entering and exiting the building. So if I enter this building, I'm just coming in at a random point. I say random, it's the same X and Y coordinate for this map as I am on the other map, which is not what we want. We want it to happen where if we exit this door, we would be at the door, and if you enter the door, you'll be at the door. Finally, another issue would be, regardless of whatever entity it is, whichever one actually moves towards the door of anywhere, the map will reload, but it won't reload as that player will be in there. It will reload as I have set as a static reload, so my player would be inside of the map, and it will just be exactly like this, regardless of which NPC or entity hits this trigger, which that needs to be fixed obviously. So what we do want is, once this NPC hits the trigger, we want them to be inside of the map. Obviously we can't see it, but they should be there, and we do not want to be teleported back into that map. We want to still be where we are in this map. Finally, to show how quests work in game, what we have now is our player has a window which will display all of his current active quests open and closed, and it will have all of their sub quests within each of them. At the moment we have no quests open, so there's nothing in here. This obviously needs to have a little bit more pizzazz around it to show what this is supposed to be doing, so quests maybe at the top. So if I select NPC, can you help me find my book? Yes. Cool, just find me when you find me. Right, so now we've selected him, we have a new quest at the top. There's no display where it will tell you have a new quest. We just do that this needs to be added. That's in time. So we have if I select this quest, we have all of the sub quests underneath that. So find a book, give book back to NPC name. So this is essentially the very basic of what we have so far. This needs to be obviously updated to work with a lot of things. It's seriously just a foundation of quests, but this will be improving soon. We do have a couple of issues with the quest system. So for example, at the moment, if we select the NPC, even if you say no, okay, listen, I'm reading this book, I'm actually really busy at the moment, even if you say no, the quest will still be put in your system. So obviously we don't want that. We want it to work on an activation or on a trigger of when you actually accept the quest from that NPC, which we don't have at the moment. Another issue that we have is the fact that all sub-quests are actually shown underneath the single quest, which is not correct, because I kind of only want the active sub-quests per quest. So for example, at the moment it should just be find a book. Once you find the book, then this second sub-quest will be displayed, give book back to NPC, and then we can carry on from there. Thanks for watching. For next time, I will try to be able to complete some of the issues that we discussed this week, as well as add in a couple of new features, such as the quests, being able to actually complete some of the quests with picking up items and so on, and having them trigger properly. And I would like to work on a major mechanic. This will be animals, so I'll have my first animated animal. I know I said this a couple of weeks ago, but this time it's time for animal work to be done. So I'll have my first animated animal, hopefully a wolf possibly, but we'll see. I need to design the actual structure of the code first before I head on to that, but that's where I'm headed. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.